You're 17, and you're sitting in your bedroom at 2 a.m., and you've just found something that shouldn't exist. A single misconfigured API endpoint, buried 3 layers deep in a crypto exchange's testing environment. Not the kind of bug bounty hunters get paid 5 figures for. The kind that, if you pulled on it, could unravel something much bigger. Rewind 2 years. You're 15, bored in every class that isn't computer science, running capture the flag competitions online under a handle nobody in your real life knows. You're good. Not won a school award good. Top 50 in the world, security researchers DM you good. Your parents think you're gaming too much. You let them think that, because the truth is harder to explain at a dinner table. You start small. Legitimate bug bounties, disclosed responsibly. A few $1,000s here and there that you can't even explain where it came from without admitting what you've been doing at night. Then you find a vulnerability in a minor exchange's withdrawal system, and instead of reporting it, you sit with the decision for 6 days. Reporting it gets you a bounty. Exploiting it gets you the entire liquidity pool. You exploit it. $80,000, moved through 4 wallets and a mixer in 11 minutes. You don't spend it. You just look at the number for a long time, the way you'd look at a test result you weren't sure you wanted. 17-year-olds aren't supposed to be capable of federal crimes before they can legally rent a car. That's when someone finds you. Not law enforcement. Someone worse, in a way. A private actor, well-funded, who monitors exploit forums the way a scout monitors Little League games. They don't threaten you. They compliment you. They tell you what you did was elegant. You've never heard that word applied to anything you've built. They have a target, not a minor exchange. The largest crypto exchange in the world, the one your own family has an account on, the one that processes more daily volume than most national stock markets. They tell you there's a flaw in a smart contract governing a cross-chain bridge, a piece of infrastructure so complex that maybe 11 people on the planet fully understand it. They think you might be the 12th. You tell yourself you're just going to look. You always tell yourself you're just going to look. You spend 3 months on it, reverse engineering the bridge contract byte by byte, mapping every function call, building a private test environment that mirrors the real one closely enough to rehearse the exploit without ever touching the live system. You find it on a Thursday, a re-entrancy flaw nobody caught in 4 separate audits, hidden inside a function that only activates during a specific, rare network condition. It's beautiful, in the way only something devastating can be beautiful. You go back to the people who found you. They don't ask if you'll do it. They ask when. The night it happens, you're not in some dark room with 6 monitors like the movies. You're at your kitchen table, laptop open, parents asleep upstairs, a bowl of cereal going soggy next to you because you forgot it was there. You trigger the exploit at 3:47 a.m. The bridge drains in under 4 minutes. $293 million in digital assets, routed through a chain of decentralized protocols so convoluted that even you lose track of the money by the 7th hop. You close the laptop. You go to school 4 hours later like nothing happened. Because to you, in that moment, it genuinely doesn't feel like it did. It takes 11 hours for the exchange to notice. It takes 11 minutes after that for it to become the biggest story in financial news that day. You watch the number, your number, scroll across a news ticker on a TV in your school cafeteria, and you have never in your life felt smaller and larger at the same time. The people who recruited you take their cut immediately, more than half, gone before you can even ask questions. You get access to a fraction, still an amount of money that doesn't make sense attached to a name that's still doing algebra homework. You tell yourself you'll never touch it. You mean it, for about 3 weeks. The exchange doesn't just eat the loss quietly. Federal investigators, private forensic firms, and 3 separate national cybercrime units start pulling the transaction graph apart, the same way you once pulled apart other people's code for fun. You realize, slowly, that the skill that makes you dangerous is the same skill that makes you traceable. You know exactly how good this kind of investigation can get, because you've built tools like it yourself. 2 months in, you're not sleeping. Every unfamiliar car on your street becomes a stakeout in your head. You can't tell your parents. You can't tell the one friend at school who still thinks you're just into computers. You built an entire second life in total secrecy, and now you're serving a sentence in it, alone, before anyone's even charged you with anything. The people who recruited you reach out again. A second target, a second exploit. They remind you, gently, that you know things now that make you valuable. and things now that make you a liability if you were ever inclined to talk. You understand, for the first time, that you didn't get recruited, you got acquired. You spend a week pretending to plan the second job while actually doing something else entirely, quietly documenting everything, every wallet address, every intermediary, every fragment of the laundering chain you helped design, because you're the only person on either side of this who fully understands the architecture end to end. You almost don't go through with it. You're 17. You're terrified of what happens to a minor who turns himself in for a $293 million theft, and you're more terrified of what happens if you don't. You choose the harder terror. You reach out, through a lawyer your parents don't know you've contacted, to the exchange's security team directly, not the FBI first, the victim first, because you understand, better than anyone, that they have more resources moving faster than any single agency does. You offer everything, the full technical breakdown of the exploit, the identities you've pieced together of the people who recruited you, a complete map of the laundering trail. In exchange, you want two things: protection and an acknowledgement, on record, that you were 17 when this started. It takes 4 days to get an answer. They say yes. The recovery operation that follows moves faster than you thought possible, because for once, the person mapping the money actually built the maze. Within 3 weeks, $187 million of the $293 million is frozen or recovered across 9 jurisdictions. 2 of the people who recruited you are arrested trying to cross a border with laptops full of encrypted wallets. You are not arrested. You are, instead, placed under something closer to supervision than freedom: a juvenile diversion agreement, years of restricted device access, a permanent record sealed but not erased, a debt of restitution that will follow you into an adulthood you haven't started yet. You think, sometimes, about the version of that Thursday night where you just reported the bug instead of rehearsing the exploit, where the elegant flaw you found became a responsible disclosure and a modest bounty instead of a $293 million headline. You were capable of both outcomes with the exact same skill, the exact same 3 months of work. The only thing that changed was which door you walked through when someone flattering and dangerous showed up outside your window. You were 17, old enough to build something almost nobody else on the planet could build. Not old enough yet to understand that the people who tell you you're special are rarely doing it for your benefit. You're 19 now. You work, under supervision, for a security firm that specializes in exactly the kind of vulnerability you once found for the wrong reasons. You still remember every line of that exploit. It's still, honestly, some of the best work you've ever done. You just wish it had been for someone who deserved it.